All right, hey everybody. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. If you came back, you know what today is. Today is Storytime Monday, and today's story time is this time. It's about me. It's about my experiences with drugs and alcohol and things like that. So I'm gonna talk about several different kind of things I've experienced over the years. You know, how old was I when I started doing alcohol? You know, cigarette, all that stuff. I'm gonna be open and honest about all of my extracurricular activities that I did when I was a kid up into my adulthood as well. You know, so if you guys are interested into this story time, please like, comment, share, and subscribe because I give you a good one week after week. I'm very transparent and very honest about the stuff that I do. You know, I don't hide anything. I'm an open book so my audience can know me better. I will never judge anybody else without letting you guys know my flaws as well, right? So if you're interested into knowing this story time, hit that like button. Hit that like button right now. Hit that subscribe button and let YouTube know and the world know that you support what I do over here and what I'm trying to do. Thank you for my old subscribers and my new subscribers, and for those who will follow me, find me in the future. Thank you so much. If I entertain you, if you like what I do, show us support by hitting that subscribe button. Okay? So let's get right into this video. I had to just lift up my camera a little bit because it was a little bit too low. Anyway, so again, this story time is about me, and I'm telling you my truths. So, we have to take this story time all the way back to, I don't know, 16, 17 was the first time I actually ever did like alcohol, right? So I started doing alcohol, just because I did. I probably like all teenagers started dabbling in alcohol. And the first kind of alcoholic beverage I ever had was Hypnotic. That was the big thing back then when it was all in everybody's song. Everybody was drinking on Hypnotic. And my friends started buying Hypnotic. Well, their parents was buying Hypnotic. And then we would go over there and drink their parents' Hypnotic and shit like that. Or we have find somebody who was older who would buy it for us. And, you know, we're drinking on Hypnotic and shit. You know, but I wasn't that much of a bigger drinker. But I did like to drink. I was a bigger smoker than anything. My parents smoked cigarettes, and for a long time I was just like, ugh, cigarettes is the most disgusting thing in the world. But then, as my adulthood, I end up smoking cigarettes. I'll tell you exactly what your parents do. You end up doing it too, and that is just such a true statement. Okay, such a true statement. So anyway, so I started smoking marijuana. Pretty much my entire high school years. Well, not my entire high school years. Maybe for like the last couple of years up until I was like when did I move out here? So it wasn't that long then, because I would give it maybe like a year, because I know I wasn't smoking when I was a freshman or a sophomore. I was on my own by the time I was smoking it. And so probably like 2 years. I personally may have smoked marijuana for like 2 years, because I was the last one to start smoking, because all my friends smoked throughout high school. I was a church girl, so I didn't really do drugs or anything like that. So it wasn't until like later on, I liked the smell of weed, and I liked it to be around weed, and when people smoked weed, I liked it to be around it. But I never smoked it. So when I used to smoke in the car, I used to go outside and sit in the car and smell it and inhale it and get a contact high. But I would actually never take a puff. I would never take a puff. But eventually I did. Eventually my friends was like, just smoke it, girl, because you always around, just smoke and stuff. So eventually I started smoking it. And then I liked it, and then I was high all the time with my friends. Like, we would wake up smoking, go to sleep smoking, smoke in the middle of the day. Like, we smoked no matter what. Like, you just get used to smoking. And just like I was like, how did I function without it? I remember the last time, like this one time I was smoking, we was outside smoking. God, we was outside smoking. I'm lucky I didn't go to jail. I was literally in mid-puff, and the police pulled right on side of me, and they did a and I had the blunt in my hand. I said, My sisters were standing there like, oh my God, she's finna go to jail. And I forgot how or why the police ended up letting me go. But thank God the police let me go, because, oh, I would have went to jail for marijuana. Like, and they literally just passed it to me, and I said, oh, that would have been terrible if I would have went to jail for marijuana. Oh my God. But I stopped smoking marijuana. I just chose to stop smoking marijuana. I think I was moving, like the last time I did it, I was getting a job. I was getting a job or something. Something had to do with a job. And I just, at that very moment, I said, this job is way more important than smoking weed. I don't need to smoke it anymore. So, because I'm like, if I get a drug test me and stuff, I don't need to smoke weed anymore. And I literally cut it that day. Never picked up marijuana again. And do I miss it? No. I'm around people who smoke all the time. It's just never been a desire of mine anymore to smoke marijuana. Like, it's just not. My husband said all the time, oh, I just wish you just smoked just a little bit so I could pass you the blunt. It's just not something that I want to do. Like, I don't desire smoking weed. I have tried to do what I did when I was younger. All of my friends smoke. Everybody around me smoke. I go out of town with these women and they're hot boxing cars and shit. And I literally will step outside of the car just so they can get their high on. Or I will raise down a window, or I will put on a mask. Like, one of the two, like, get me out of this situation, because marijuana just doesn't work for me. Like, it just doesn't work for me. I'm like, but they can say the same thing about alcohol, because now, fast forward, I am a drinker. Like, I am a drinker. So let me back up. So when I was smoking marijuana, I used to smoke Black and Milds to boost my high. Probably most weed smokers do that anyway. Smoke Black and Milds to boost their high when they go down smoking Black and Mild. So when I stopped smoking marijuana, I continued to smoke Black and Milds. And I smoked Black and Milds for a very long time. So I ended up progressing to cigarettes just by saying something so stupid. I said, how much is a pack of cigarettes? I said, because I spend about $6 for like 5 Black and Milds. And I go through them Black and Milds like that. How much is a pack of cigarettes? They told me, I said, and I get 20. Why don't I just start smoking cigarettes? I get more for it's about the same price. I started smoking Newport shorts at that very moment. Well, I was smoking Newport longs. But Newport longs was just too long. It take too long to smoke. So I ended up going to Newport shorts. Worked perfectly for me. I tried different cigarettes, to figure out which one I liked the best. I tried Cools. I tried Marlboros. I tried the skinny ones. I tried the ones that you pop and it had a little vape in it. I was trying different ones to see which ones I like. But then it turns out Newports is the best. Like, they taste the best. Like, Newport menthol tastes the best. So that's what I stuck with. So I didn't have a problem. Well, I'm not going to say I didn't have a problem smoking cigarettes, because I did. I didn't like it. I actually was ashamed of smoking cigarettes, because when it came to like men, I don't know why. I didn't like men to know that I smoked cigarettes, even though they probably could smell cigarettes on me. But I didn't like men to know. If they didn't already know that I smoked cigarettes, if that was their first time meeting me, I would not smoke cigarettes around them to save my life. They would have to catch me in the act for me to admit that I smoke cigarettes. Or they have to catch a video or something while I'm lighting up a cigarette. Other than that, they will never see me with a cigarette. It's just never going to happen. And that's how most of the time men found out that I smoked, by catching me smoke. And then I'm like, yeah, I smoke. Well, why you didn't say nothing? Because you never asked. I'm like, because I wasn't going to volunteer that information, but my ex-friend, she used to smoke all the time and she was not afraid. She was like Carrie Bradshaw, just like, you like me. If you want me, you got to accept that I smoke cigarettes, not ashamed. I was just the opposite. I'm like, unless you knew that I smoked cigarettes, I didn't like to smoke around people. Like, I just didn't. I would go the whole day at work. I wouldn't, when I go on lunch and breaks, I'm not the one who's just gonna light up on my lunch and breaks. I don't even smoke at work. I would literally wait till I get off. I would smoke like a chain smoker. As soon as I clock out, get in my car, light up, light up, light up, light up, light up. Before I come to work, I might light up too before I come to work, but that's it. I go a whole 8-9 hours without lighting shit. I could be outside around people and nobody would know I smoke cigarettes, because it was just not something that I promoted or showed until people actually knew that I, actually knew me. Then they knew that I smoked. Other than that, you're not going to know. But then I made a conscious decision this year to actually stop smoking, because I lied. I lied to so many people about smoking, and that's not really a drug, but it's just not something I was like happy to do. But I quit smoking this year, which was great. If I can insert applause. Applause. What I did was I got the nicotine patches, and I actually still got a box in my cabinet just in case if I have a craving. I put one on, to knock out that craving, But it's been almost 5 months now, and I haven't had a cigarette and don't desire one. So once the craving is gone, I'm done with it. There's no going back. I'm over it. But what I do, I drink a lot more. I drink a lot. I can drink all the time now. Like, that's just so my friends and smokers, I'm the drinker of the group. So I would drink a person under the water. Like, I would drink like a fish. Like, I don't drink all the time, but if there's a bottle around me, I'm going to drink it. Like, why waste it? Do anybody feel that way? Like, why waste it? Like, why waste a good bottle of alcohol when you could just drink it and just enjoy the ride? Like, why waste it? That's how I feel, So my favorite drink, I went through phases, like, depending on the person who I was dealing with. When I was dealing with the married guy, I was only drinking dark liquor at the time. But I'm personally a light drinker myself. So now I'm messing with them. I already don't drink dark liquor at all anymore. I only drink white liquor. So on a regular, if you're going to drink, give me something. Have me some vodka or tequila on deck. On deck, if you don't have anything strong like that, give me like a girly drink, like a margarita, cosmopolitan, or something like that. Some kind of fancy, cute little drink, and then I'll drink it. I like to have fancy, cute little times like that. But my drugs. Have I ever did drugs? Yes, I have did drugs. What drugs have I ever did? Never did meth. I still kind of want to do mushrooms just to see what it's about, but I've never did mushrooms. Never did coke. Oh, I lied. I have done coke. I never did crack. So I never did crack, never did meth, never did shrooms, never did horse tranquilizers, never did, any of these synthetic drugs that's out there the kids are doing. Never did any of that. Outside of marijuana, the only thing I have done, I've done coke once, and I don't think I even really got the full effect of that because I was high off of ecstasy. So if it did have an effect, it just really didn't. I didn't feel any difference because I was already high on ecstasy. So if anything, it did was just enhanced it. All right, but so if I ever did it again, it probably would feel like X, I'm assuming. So I did coke once, and then ecstasy I've done a number of times. I've done ecstasy a number of times, and I can understand why people get used to ecstasy and like ecstasy and take it all the time. I have dated drug dealers who sell ecstasy. So for me, I have an addictive personality, right? So if I try something that I like, and it goes for a lot of different things. I'm like, so if I try something that I like, I can become addicted to it or that person. So let's take sex, for example. Just like I have an addiction. I can have an addiction to sex, right? It depends on who it is. And if I become really addicted to that person, like I will really want that person and desire that person to the extreme. Just like clothing, I'm addicted to shopping. So I shop like I shop excessively all the time. I know I have a problem when it comes to shopping. If I had a lot of alcohol probably at my disposal all the time, I probably would be addicted to alcohol because I probably would always have a drink in my hand. Do you see where I'm going with this? So if I had ecstasy at my disposal, I probably would be addicted to ecstasy. So if I get ecstasy, it's only for a purpose. If I wanted to go somewhere, or I'm on vacation, or if I'm going someplace, or if I'm having a weekend off and I want to have some extra fun and I want to do something a little spicy, then I might do dabble into something or another. But it's not something that I do every day. My sister was a stripper and she used to do it every day for a long period of time. And she used to do it every day till she started getting craters in her face. I don't know what's mixed in ecstasy, but I knew that's not what I wanted for myself. But I knew that I, just like pretty much everybody else who does ecstasy and they like ecstasy, they do it because of the feeling. You know what I mean? They do it because they know how ecstasy makes you feel when you pop it. It gets in your system. If you get a good pill, you're gonna be on this, a crazy high for like 4 hours, depending on what you're doing. It's going to enhance that. So if you're at a party, you're going to party extra hard. If you're, having sex, you're going to have sex extra hard for a very, very long time. Whatever it is that you're going to do, you're going to do it to the extreme. If you're swimming, you're probably go swim for hours. So it's going to just enhance whatever it is that you're feeling at that moment. You're going to feel it times 100, and it feels great. It just sucks when you come down off of that drug. You're going to have a really heck of a time coming down off that shit. I'm like, so if you're not prepared, be prepared. So if you never ever done ecstasy, let me tell you, coming down, it feels great going up, because all of a sudden you touching on everything, you touching on yourself, everything feels good to you. Even taking a shower feels good to you. Just the water hitting your skin feels good. Like everything feels good to you as soon as the X hits your system, hits your bloodstream, and for hours you're just gonna be, you're gonna feel great. And then all of a sudden, when you're tapering off, you're gonna feel a whole different. Your body is going to feel like you got hit by a truck. You don't want to, you can't sleep. Your stomach's upset. You can't eat for like 2 days. You'll be back and forth in the bathroom. Headaches, body aches, weak, fatigue. Like you're going to feel terrible. You're going to be dehydrated. You're going to have to drink a lot of water and Gatorade to get yourself back together. Man. So, it's rough coming down. But when you get back to yourself, you're back to yourself. So it's not something that I do every day, because that's not the coming and down part is something that I don't want to experience all the time. So that's why people keep popping them. When they start coming down, they pop it so they can get that high back again. But frankly, I wouldn't want to be high like that 24 hours a day. I just wouldn't want to be high like that 24 hours a day. Like if you could take the horny part out of it, then I can see it. Like, oh, I just feel so good. Like, but to be horny 24 hours a day, I don't want to be horny 24 hours a day. Like, and then if you don't have anybody to screw you for a very long time, like, it's rough. And I've been there too, where I popped one and then I didn't have nobody to have sex with, and I had to have sex. And having sex with yourself is cool, but having sex with somebody else is a whole lot better. So, but that's all the drugs that I ever tried. What I do, coke again, maybe, in a party setting. Would I do ecstasy again? I'm sure of it. Would I drink again? I'm sure of it. I'm still young. When I get to the point where I'm just cool on all kind of extracurricular activities, is probably when I'm old and dry, but I'm still, young, kicking it. And in my mind, I think I'm still sexy. So I like to have, turn up fun. I like to have my kind of fun every now and then. So I don't judge anybody who do anything. Just do it in moderation. Be careful when you do it. Make sure you have, you're doing it with somebody you can trust. And, they're looking out for you. That's my PCA for the day. All right, so that is a quick little story time about, drugs that I've tried, the recreational drugs that I've tried to this day, what I do, what I've done in the past. And, be safe out there, ladies and gents. If you do this kind of stuff, if you do engage in, recreational drugs, marijuana, or alcohol, please do it responsibly. Okay? So that's in. It's 18 minutes, so that's long enough. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And following me on my social media, Keyshawn for Reese Robinson on Facebook, Sleepless Mel VNV on Instagram. Check you in the next video. Bye.